skate park scene in Seattle around the time we started Marginal was looking pretty bleak. We had the Ballard Bowl, we had Seagate, both of which were slated to be torn down and relocated. And we were looking at a period of time where the city was wasting their resources in just relocating stuff rather than adding to the skatable terrain in Seattle. And we were looking at a while where there was going to be nothing to skate at all. So we decided that we'd pass the winter by building something of our own, something to pass the time, just building it, and then some place to skate when these parks were not around. That place was a wasteland when we first got there. It was just one of those things where no matter what we did down there, it was going to be so much better than what was already going on down there. We had people dumping raw sewage out of their motorhomes onto the concrete. You know, there were dirty condoms down there, there was needles down there, and you know, we had to go to battle to get these homeless people to realize we own this spot now. This isn't your place anymore. We own this spot. We're activating this space. It's going to be a place where positive things happen. First thing we built was a wall ride. It seemed like a good idea. There was nothing like that around. We were just looking for a little one-hitter we could have fun with and kind of put it back in the corner up against the wall. And then we decided that, well, you come off this wall ride with all this speed, like, what are you gonna do? Well, let's build a quarter pipe over here. So you could hit the wall ride, come down some speed, do a trick on the quarter pipe. If you're good, get another push, hit the wall ride again, kind of get a little bit of back and forth action. I guess that was maybe the first semblance of it being an actual skate park. So we definitely didn't ask for permission before we started building, but we knew eventually we were going to have to get permission from the city. There was a homeless dude that was kind of living down there, but he kind of kept an eye on the place and he wasn't blowing it and he kept it tidy, so we didn't vibe that guy too much. And he tipped us off one day that the city was down there scoping out the spot, and they were talking about how they were going to bring in bulldozers and they were going to flatten the quarter pipe and they were going to jackhammer out the wall ride and all this stuff. Maybe we need to go to the Department of Transportation and get a street use permit. Went to the counter to apply. They said, yeah, you don't get a street use permit for that, and we know who you guys are. We know the story behind this, and you need to talk to some other people. And so they told me to take the elevator up a couple floors, and 5 minutes later, I'm talking to like the number 2 or number 3 person at the Seattle Department of Transportation, and I'm wearing a skater shirt, I got crutches, I'm in a cast, I broke my foot skating, and I had to talk like I knew what I was talking about. And I did a lot of education. I informed them of the Washington State statute that says they're not liable for injuries. I forwarded them a lot of info, and they let their lawyers kind of pour over it, and in the end, they kind of said, hey, we're inclined to let you keep doing this for the time being, just don't draw too much attention to it. Once we realized that the city was going to let us do this, it became a lot easier to raise money. And so it was time to start doing some real fundraisers, like putting on punk rock shows, making t-shirts for sale, anything we could do, raffles, just make money, like skaters making money for skaters. The guys at Grindline really stepped in and helped us out a lot. They would send a few dudes down to kind of wrangle all of us novices and show us how to do things. We learned how to make tools from them. They would let us borrow equipment, like if their shotcrete pump was in town, we could start doing some real legitimate shotcrete. And they basically taught us to be concrete finishers and, you know, elementary level skate park builders. It's not about the guys that started it or the guys that built it. It's about keeping the ball going. It's about realizing that this is bigger than you. It's bigger than you and your friends. It's something that the city needs and it's something the city wants, and it's something that the community of skateboarders in Seattle need to keep going. You know, just because I'm not down there every day anymore doesn't mean there's not guys down there every day. There are guys down there building all the time, and those guys are going to move on eventually, but there's going to be another crew of dudes behind them that's going to keep that going, and I think that's awesome. The thing that Marginal does that the city skate parks will never do is it's got kind of a living vibe about it. Like, it's almost like a living art project of skateboarding. think city skate parks are great, but they'll never match the vibe that Marginal Way has, and they're complementary to each other. One's not better than the other, but I think having both in this city really serves the skaters of Seattle well.